Welcome to the Hembury Books podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Muddett, and I'm the publisher at Hembury Books. And today I am joined by Bernadette Eden, who is events manager at Romance Writers Australia. Romance Writers Australia has 700 members in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, the United States, and the UK. Thanks a lot for coming on the podcast, Bernadette.
Oh, thank you, Jessica. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, really exciting. How long have you worked at RWA? And can you tell people who perhaps haven't heard of it what it is all about?
Yeah, okay. So, RWA is the Romance Writers of Australia. We're a national organisation, obviously, not-for-profit. It started over 30 years ago, back in 1991, with just a small little group of women who just loved romance and wanted to talk about romance books and romance writing, and said, let's get together. And then I think they said, well, let's have a conference where we bring people together and we have a guest speaker. And it grew very quickly from there. I think within their first 5 years, they had Nora Roberts as their guest speaker. So now, like you said, it's grown to over 700 members. It's a volunteer-run organisation, so my position is the events coordinator, but I have been with RWA for probably 6 years now, I think, and I just love it. I get so much out of it. I've done lots of different roles within it because we have so many exciting things on, and it's a wonderful networking opportunity just to meet new people.
Yeah, amazing. And do you write books yourself, romance books?
I do. I write women's fiction. So that's the great thing about RWA is we have amazing contests throughout the year. So last year I was able to enter the Romantic Book of the Year contest and won that with my book, Wedding Annie Jones. Yeah. So stuff like that. We have quite big awards that, if you want to submit something, and it does, there's different ones for whether you're published or unpublished. So you can submit a manuscript and see how you go. And you're up against traditionally published authors, and it's a wonderful experience to be in the mix with all these successful authors and, see how you go.
How many books have you written?
For me, I've got 4 books out. So I've got a 3-book series called The Making of Molly Gardner. And that's a sort of rom-com, just fun type one that follows Molly Gardner as she finds love. And then she moves to a small country town. I come from a small country town, so I love writing about community and, little towns. And so she moves to the fictional town of Cameron Valley. And then the 3rd book is how she finds her family there. But then the 4th book I've written is a separate story called Wedding Annie Jones, but it's also set in Cameron Valley. So, fun fact about me is that I grew up in a little country town called Freeling, but it was where, I don't know if you ever watched McLeod's Daughters, but it was where McLeod's Daughters was filmed. So, I grew up in Gungahlin, really. Nothing like a TV show at all.
But very beautiful scenery that inspired you creatively.
Yes, but there's not really farmers flying around in helicopters and things like that.
Right. Well, this is what books and movies are for, right? It's life, but better.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of events does Romance Writers Australia hold throughout the year? Is there craft workshops as well as community building type things?
Yeah, so our main event is the conference, which we hold in August every year. And this year we're going down to Hobart, which is really exciting because I'm not sure if we've ever been to Hobart. So that's a massive 3-day event where we get about 400 members coming, and it's 3 days of workshops and networking with a gala dinner and cocktail party, lots and lots of fun as you get 400 romance writers in a room. But then during the year, to sort of keep the vibe going, we also have state events as well. So we have state liaisons in each state and territory, where we sort of have write-ins or coffee catch-ups I know that Perth actually has hosted some writing retreats, and even Northern Territory have a little small cohort there who have Zoom meetings together. Yeah, we sort of try and keep the community of RWA going throughout the year with little events. So then at conference, you can meet even more people and expand your network again. And then also on top of that, we have the RWA Learning Academy, which is you can do online craft workshops. We just had an amazing one, learning how to do Substack and all the ins and outs of that. Yeah.
That sounds really fun to know like-minded people with similar goals. You can all help each other, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Chris Munnery from Ingram Spark, I had a call with him a couple of weeks ago, and he said that Writers Wonderland is the best literary event of the year. Better than, who said it's even Byron. And I was like, wow, I have to find out more. So why do you think it's so fantastic?
I don't know, but I feel like I want to get a soundbite of Chris saying that.
Ask him. Yeah,
last year, and loved it. I think it is the vibe and the people. Like it is high excitement. It's and everybody's similarly minded. And I think I was just saying to someone the other day, I think what I really love is, you can be a writer and you're sitting alone, and then I think sometimes you're looking at social media and you're thinking, oh, okay, well, everybody's doing amazing except for me. And then you go and you meet people and you find that everybody has the same problems, everybody is on the same path. And I think what's also wonderful is you realise there's enough room in the publishing world for everyone. Everybody has a different story to tell, and everybody has a different path that they want to take. And it's good to know, like, oh, I haven't missed my chance. There's more chances available for everyone. And I just find romance writers really generous with information. Like, there's no one holding information, to themselves. Oh, I don't want to let anyone know about this opportunity. It's like as soon as somebody finds out about something, they shout it to the world going, oh my God, guys, does anyone want to come and do this with me? Yeah. Yeah, no one will ever hold
that's like the whole podcast as well, is like collectively pooling all our knowledge, especially as indie authors, like where are the great, because we can make the decisions about, what to do with our book and, where to spend money and what opportunities to pursue. Do people also get dressed up?
Oh, yes, 100%. Yes. I love it because for me, I feel like it's a 3-day weekend where I probably pack the part of my wardrobe that doesn't get seen for the rest of the year, just to really glam up. And you're leaving all your other roles at home. So, your other work or your mum role or wife role or sister, daughter, whatever, you leave all of that at home and you are purely in your writer mode, your writer role. And I think everybody sort of brings it, and you sort of bring, you put on your best glam outfit and bring your best self. I think that really adds to the fun, actually. Yeah.
And do people dress up in like period costumes as well?
That would be amazing, actually. We have had some workshops where people have done a full, how to dress in period costume, and they've done the full, shown the underwear, and then slowly gotten dressed of all the details of it. That was a lot of fun. We have a theme each year. So this year is Writer Wonderland, and we definitely at the Friday night cocktail party is a competition, like dress up competition of, who's nailed the theme, who went all out. Last year was trope, actually. So there were all these different people dressed up in trope costumes like Runaway Bride, Secret Pregnancy. I think the person who won it came as a soulmate, but they were actually dressed as like the sole of a thong, like of a shoe. Yeah. So some people really, think outside the box and go for it. You want to win the dress up competition on Friday night.
That is so cool. Is it mostly women who attend?
Yeah, it is. There are men as well, and we very much welcome them, but it's just predominantly women. Yeah.
Because I was thinking, imagine finding the love of your life at the Romance Writers Conference.
Oh my God. I mean, then that would be a romance story in itself. Like you could write.
It's very meta, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd be like doing stuff just for a good plot.
Exactly. A great meet cute. Yeah.
So do you also have at the conference, do you have like the business of publishing and stuff and marketing as well?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we have business appointments. So people like Chris from Ingram Sparks. We also have Drafter Digital come across who you can just sit with and have a chat. You can book an appointment with them and have a chat with about what you need or what they can provide. It's also the workshops are geared at, there's a little bit of everything, like there's craft, there's business, there's sort of, yeah, we've got stuff on, social media and marketing and how to manage that. But then we'll also have, how to manage writing your saggy middle type thing as a craft workshop. So it's all across the board of what you can find out, because at the end of the day, being a writer it's being a business as well. And you need to find out the business nuts and bolts as much as the how to write a book nuts and bolts. And also on top of that, we've got an array of people at different levels. Some are aspiring, through to emerging, through to established. So you might have some aspiring authors who are coming to just sort of learn those first steps. But then you've also got established authors that we provide for, those next steps of business. I think we've got a great workshop by Tanya Nellerstein, which is about going global and how to sort of look international marketing for people who are ready for that next step. But then we've definitely got something for people who are ready for the first steps.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You must have an awful lot of work organising this as the events manager. What's something about like the behind the scenes organising of a writers' conference that authors probably wouldn't be aware of?
Yeah, that's a great question. Probably there's a lot of meetings. So, but which for me, I love meeting people and I love having a chat. So that's right up my alley. But yeah, I get to meet with lots of different people. Just this last couple of weeks, I just chatted with Stacey McEwen, who is a TikTok sensation and amazing author. Had a chat with her. She's coming to conference. Last week I spoke to Brenda Novak in New York, and yeah, that's probably a bit behind the scenes, that you get to have all these conversations with people that you would never be able to chat with before. And yeah, just working with agents and publishers and things like that. People that, when I first went to conference was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Who are now, I'm just emailing them because they're just normal people, as it turns out. Like, and
amazing.
I guess, the other fun bit is just being on the committee. Like, same thing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm working with Rachel Johns and Claire Connolly, and yeah, again, they are just normal, lovely people who are doing lots of hard work behind the scenes. But yeah, it's an opportunity that you wouldn't get otherwise.
No, that's really amazing. That the networking potential must be incredible. Can you tell us about some of the speakers that you've got lined up?
Yes, definitely. So this was, I've just got it in front of me here, but for it, we've got lots of US speakers coming over. So we've got Sarah McLean, who's historical, and actually she does contemporary. Yeah, she's a New York Times bestseller. So she's coming over and she's going to run people through, she's doing one of the Friday workshops, and she'll be looking at how to master conflict and tackling revisions. So sort of like getting into the nuts and bolts of your manuscript. We've also got Sarah Cannon, who is like a fantasy witch type author, and she's also got like a popular YouTube channel called Heart Breathing, and it's all about sort of working out what your dream is. So obviously for most of us to be a writer, but then working out the path of how to get there. Like, what do you actually want? Why do you want it? And then she has all these amazing organisational steps to actually, how do you make it happen? We've also got, as I said, we've got Stacey McEwen, who's a Gold Coast writer, and we've got Sharon Pelletier. I always struggle with her surname, but she's a US agent. She's coming over to take pictures. And we've got Brenda Novak, who is a US-based best-selling author as well. So, yeah, we've got, so that's just our VIPs. Probably other stuff, in the program. Amy Andrews is always a really popular presenter, so she's coming back this year to do So You Want to Write a Rom-Com, all about hitting the beats of a rom-com. We've got Steph Green, who is going to talk about it's called Show Me the Pretties. So it's all about, at GenreCon and lots of conferences these days, you see people with their amazing merch and their beautiful books with all the detail on the pages. So she's going to be talking about that. Amy Matthews is going to be going through the elements of Save the Cat. Yeah, there's a lot. I could go on. It's hard to pick the highlights because to me, there's something for everyone.
Yeah. How amazing. Wow, absolutely jam-packed. So you've got 700 members. To attend, do people need to be a member or they can just get a ticket? Are you going to sell out?
No, there'll always be room for everyone. But, you don't have to be a member to come, but you can get a huge discount if you are a member. And I think, to be honest with you, I think if you weren't a member and you came, you would soon become a member anyway, because you'd be like, I want to be a part of this group sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, sign me up. Where do I sign? Yeah, take my money. Yeah. Yeah. How fantastic. So is it a conference geared mostly towards indie authors or everybody?
No, it's everybody. So we do have a workshop on that's called Tackling Self-Publishing, and so that's for anyone who's thinking about starting in self-publishing. They can see all the steps to start with, but really it's for trad, it's for indie. Then we've got a lot of hybrid authors as well, because I think that's the thing. A lot of the time you can sort of be almost wondering, I don't know what I want. Like some people who think they just want to trad, that's their dream. Then you sort of go to conference and you meet people who have gone the indie path and you can see what they're doing and you go, I actually quite like the look of that. So it's sort of, you can get inspired either side. And then, if you've been indie for a while, you might think, do you know what? I want to dip my toe into trad and I want to see. I think it's all about, you're just meeting so many people and hearing their stories of their pathway. And it just gives you a few ideas for what you want yourself. So so it's open to everyone, trad, whatever.
And unpublished too, because it would be really inspiring and helpful to meet all these people. Yes, I can see that.
Yes. I started there. I went to my first conference as an unpublished member, and it was just mind-blowing. But totally, every time I come away from conference, I just am completely energized to get cracking again, sort of thing. You can see what everyone else is doing and you just can't wait to get back home and sort of tweak your career or tweak your ideas for where you thought you were going. And so, to go to that first conference, and I think I sort of had a book ready to go but hadn't done anything with it. And then as soon as I got home, I was like, I've got to get started. It didn't actually seem like that big a deal to then publish a book and market it and everything when I'd seen all these other people doing it. I think it's that kind of, when you're hanging with a group who are just a little bit ahead of you, it does make you stretch and push yourself a bit more. And you'll always find that person who's a little bit ahead of you at conference. So you're constantly growing and stretching with everyone you meet.
That's important. What if someone is feeling shy, like they won't know anyone else who is there? What are
Yeah.
some of the kind of great networking things you have on to help break the ice?
Yeah, well, I'm really looking forward to this year, actually. Just one thing I've brought in this year to have a bit of an icebreaker is because it can be a bit daunting when you walk in and, and then there's lots of people who, sometimes people, they don't see each other for the whole year. They only see each other at conference. So there's lots of people sort of excited to see each other, and it can be a bit like, oh, you know? So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, exactly. No one's excited to see me. But this year I'm introducing, we're all going to have like little snowflakes that everybody can write a piece of advice or a little note on it and put their name on it. And then we'll be putting that in like a big snowball type thing. And then throughout conference, you can go and pull a snowflake out and you've got to go and find that person who gave the advice. So then you can say, oh, hi, Jessica, I'm Bernadette. You told me, this. And then it's just a little icebreaker to have a reason to go up to someone. And I love the idea that it might be someone who it's their very first conference, and maybe the snowflake that they pull out is someone who's really established, and it gives them a chance to go up to that person and tap them on the shoulder and say, hi, my name's, so there's that. That will be really great.
Creating magic.
Sorry, say again.
You're creating the opportunity for real magic to happen there. That's really cool.
You just never know of like a connection that might be made, that who knows, those two people, I don't know, become critique partners or collaboration partners, or exactly. Magic happens when you sort of put a few people together. But we do have also lots of social things across the weekend. The cocktail party is a big one, which is just always a bit of fun because everyone's a bit dressed up and a bit being a bit silly in their costumes. And then we also have the gala dinner, which you can just put your name down on a table and then sit with anyone, which I have to admit, my first conference, probably my experience I had sitting at dinner was some of the most information. I just sat next to these two women who I had never heard of, but who were amazing, or just smashing it in the indie world. And they just sat there and gave me all this information. It was probably like having my little one-on-one workshop at dinner, So there's lots of things like that. And then we're also going to have this year sort of that you can get up and walk with someone. So because not everyone is a cocktail person or a gala dinner person, you might be an early bird who likes to go for a walk. So we'll have lots of opportunities where you can do that sort of thing as well. Yeah.
Wow, sounds amazing. What about Tassie as a venue? So this is the first time you've had it at Tassie. Can you tell us about like the venue and where you're having the cocktail function and things?
Yeah. So we're at Wrest Point this year at Hobart, which just looks beautiful. Like it has this lovely reception area where people will be able to come in and meet and have a coffee and stuff like that. But also where our workshops are going to be, we this year have a big auditorium, which I think will be great for those bigger events where we tend to get a lot of numbers for our VIPs. So that will be fantastic. But then we've also got smaller rooms that are a bit more cabaret style, and you can sit down and have a bit of a round table discussion and stuff like that. Another thing we'll also be having is the author signing event, which is on the Friday night. So that's from 4:30 till 6:30, I think. And that's, just trying to remember where that is. Might be in the birdcage area. But they have all these wonderful bars set up as well. So we'll be having this author event where anyone, the same thing, anyone can apply to be part of the author event. So you might be, last year at our author event, we had Christina Lauren. So some people who had, indie published their first book, were able to be at a signing event with Christina Lauren on the table over, so it just gives an opportunity. Yeah. an opportunity to like rub shoulders and be like, yeah, I'm the same as them sort of thing, which we are. Like, we're all doing the same thing in the same room. I'm just trying to think what else. But the venue is beautiful, and they've got beautiful lawns out the front. We'll also have a quiet room set up. We always have a quiet room just in case, because it is pretty overwhelming. It's lots of, as you can imagine, it's 400 romance writers, all talking, all laughing, all having a fabulous time. Sometimes you do need a little bit of a breather. So we do have a writer's room set up to just go in. We have a writer's room actually where you can go and just do some writing. But then we also have the quiet room where you can just go and sit and just have a little breather and take in the quiet and recharge and then go back out again. We're also going to have a media room this year. So for any podcasts, if they want to come down and check it out, or media that wants to come and see what it's all about, we'll definitely have space there.
Wow, I'm so impressed. I really want to come. So my final question for you would be, so say a person who's never been before wants to come along, what would your advice for them be to get the most out of this extravaganza? Pace yourself or don't pace yourself?
Yeah, see, my immediate instinct is don't pace yourself, go for it.
You're crazy.
You definitely need to have a bit of self-care, and it is good sometimes to go back to your room and just have a little breather. But my thought is, like, you've got 3 days, just go for it. And the main thing, I mean, obviously the workshops are amazing, but it is the networking and the people that you meet that is the most amazing part of it. So I would say a top tip I heard from someone once was wear something bright, like don't fade into the corner, wear a bright lipstick or a bright scarf or something, or have a quirky top or something, because people will go, oh, I love your top. I mean, we're romance writers, so we're noticing lots of details about people. So I'd say just go for it. Like, wear something bright, even if you're scared, go up to someone and just start a conversation. I mean, that's the thing. You can go up to anyone in that room and say, what do you write? And that we're all on the same, we're all doing the same thing. So you're gonna get a hit eventually with someone. And just, be brave. Like, it is hard sometimes. Like, it's hard doing this kind of stuff. It's all wonderful, but it is hard going into a group of people that you don't know and having to say the thing that you might hide in your everyday life and be like, oh, I'm a writer, that's difficult. But I just think, go for it. You've made the step to buy the ticket to get yourself there. Make sure you just get as much out of it as you can. And if anybody's feeling shy, I'll be there. Come and say hi.
That's wonderful. Where can people get a ticket and find out all about the program and things?
So if you just go to romanceaustralia.com.au, it will all be there. Sorry, it's romanceaustralia.com. And you'll see on there our conference area where you'll be able to have a look at it all.
Amazing. How exciting. All right. Well, thank you so much, Bernadette, for sharing with us, and thanks for all the work you do in putting it on. I think you're, making writers' dreams come true at Writer Wonderland.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much for having me, Jessica. This has been wonderful.